everybody, to another week of Let's Play Live's Rainbow Six Challenger League. My name's Lan, and we're here again in the beautiful Sky Tower studio for Let's Play Live, and we've got a fantastic matchup for you tonight. We have Avant versus Sleeper Gaming, so we only have one matchup for tonight, but don't worry, it's going to be a great one, I'm sure. But before we move on in tonight's matchup, let's do a little bit of recap of last week's matches. So last week's matches, we saw Sleeper Gaming again versus Voltic Esports, and Voltic Esports Club, I mean, they did a fantastic job. They ended up with the win, if memory serves me well. They took the win out on Villa 7-3. BB leaving the match on 12 kills, Smack on 10. And it wasn't just frags that won out for Voltic Esports. It was them dismantling Sleeper Gaming systematically and eventually. Not to say that Sleeper didn't have merit at all in how they played, but essentially Voltic were just a little bit more dominant, and it really started showing later in the rounds. So, on top of that, we also saw Fury and Avant actually rescheduled their match off stream, so we didn't get to see exactly what happened, but Fury took the win 7-4 over Avant, which is not too big of a upset, because Fury and Avant, they've been around for a very long time, and they're both very experienced teams, so it's just another day in the week where Fury just came out on top. They had a better plan this time around, but we're sure that Avant are going to be able to come in and change that for us very soon. So Xtricity versus X2R6 did finish out the night for us last week. They played on Border, took out the game 7-4, and Digital left the game with 15 kills, a double-digit win for him and his team, but slowly followed by Batters on 13 kills from the enemy team on Xto. However, unfortunately, I regret having to be the bearer of bad news, but Xto has unfortunately disbanded and will not be joining us for the rest of the season. Truly tragic. Not too sure why exactly Xto did drop out and choose to disband, but we wish them the best of luck here at LPL, and we hope to see the players and maybe the organization very soon in seasons to come for sure. So, Fury versus Xtricity will be played next week. They were supposed to play yesterday, so I do not have any information on them for you today, and no recaps. And because Xto have dropped out, there were no games played yesterday, and instead Justice got a default. Voltic got a default from OTG, no longer playing the league either. So we only have the one match today and one match with Fury and Xtricity being rescheduled for next week. We'll give you the information for that with the following week, but surely we'll be able to move on to tonight's matches. Sorry if you can hear my pages, I'm looking through my notebook. Anyway, so looking at the leaderboard so far, it does look like Xtricity is leading 4-0 right now. Voltic Esports 4-1. With only one loss, are a solid follower. So we'll see if Xtricity will be able to hold this next week once they play their match, and if they will be able to hold this lead, or if they're going to end up being tied with Voltic Esports. Justice Esports 3-2 with a solid third place. Avant and Sleeper Gaming will be playing tonight for us on what seems to be Bank, a fantastic map that we love to see. I mean, one of the more typical maps for most teams to play on, a safer map for both attack and defense. However, we'll just have to see how it turns out. I'll hold my opinions for later. Fury, Australia, and Xto and OTG will be playing at later dates, of course, like I mentioned before. So, moving on to tonight's matches. With these two matches, Avant, like I said many times, they've been around for a very long time. I've got my eyes on Vicious and Fisho. And with Sleeper, Malaska, and President, we've seen some fantastic kills come out from them, but it's also just their positioning, how they dismantle the team, and how they contribute towards the greater plan. So, I mean, Sleeper Gaming, experience-wise, probably not as storied as Avant, coming from a big organization now playing in our Challenger League. We're very happy to have them here, but they are the favorites. But I'm not going to take a side this time like I usually do, because Sleeper Gaming has been so surprising at how they play and has proven to be worth their salt so far. So, it does seem that it could be a pretty even matchup. We're just waiting for some of the players to get ready before we move on into the games. waiting for the R's to come out and ready for the ready. If anything, we are excited to see this matchup tonight on Bank, a map that's just quite long, I suppose, in a lot of the lineups and the angles as well. So I'm expecting a lot of the matches to have the dangle on the outside of the western wall by the car park, and I'm not sure if they're going to switch it up and actually change the bomb site early or not, but it does look like we are back into our bans now. So boys and girls, give it up for the two teams. We can't wait to get on the way, but with bans coming through, give me 1 minute. Okay, crisis averted. I have to 1 second do this. And there we go. Problem solved. Anyway, back to the bans. It does look like we will be banning out Nomad and Blackbeard. Sorry for that, and apologies for the technical difficulties. Problem solved, however. Anyway, Nomad and Blackbeard being banned out on a map like Border, I'm not surprised. Don't forget the Claymores and Clash and Shields are available in these matches, so it's not like we will be seeing crazy roundouts, although we have been throughout the game and throughout our season in ranked. Don't forget, guys, the new patch is out tonight at 1 a.m. New Zealand time, so that will be 11 p.m. Australian Eastern time. So make sure you don't play your games a bit too soon or too close to that time slot. Moving forward, does look like we've got some pretty interesting picks for the roster so far. Mozzie with Fisher guy, and we'll be swapping up because they're not allowed just yet. But I guess he can't wait for the new season. So with that ruling, we won't be allowing the new operators to be allowed in our season just yet because we are halfway through and we will be swapped out. And I'm excited to see that coming through in next season, moving towards the new season with Lion coming in. A lot of people are 50-50 with how Lion's gonna play out in the meta. He's a bit more tame now. They've put him in his cage, they've taken him out, and they've made him jump through some loops. So he's not so, I would never ever use the word toxic for Lion, but so dominating, and he's no longer the king of the jungle. So reverted to more of a intel operator. Not too sure if they're gonna play him the same way they did before, but we are looking at a very confident team so far. So that's Sleeper Gaming with an interesting Caveira pick coming out along with a Vigil. So very heavy roam along with the combo coming out from the Valkyrie. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. We don't see that very often. Such a heavy roam composition. Melee coming out from the electrical will spark the team to just throw a couple of shots out there, and they just are waiting and making sure that no one is going to be pulling off anything funny. Surprised if they wouldn't push through too much faster, but it does look like Twent does open up the first hatch, moving over to the hatch by the elevator as well, and Lyrics is already all the way through the bank garage. Surprised that no one's already got cams on them, but the drone is going through. He's going to throw a couple of shots and no one's going to reconnect just yet. Sleeper Gaming not wasting any time so far, but Twent picks up another kill and they're already pushing down the main stairs. Pushing up through, and does look like Luna picks up Twent and Mollusca back onto Arnie and Lyrics onto Luna. Oh my gosh, all these kills. Sleeper Gaming's pushing through, and it does look like Copper's the only one left. Sleeper Gaming win round 1, and it looks like they didn't waste any time at all. Ooh, buddy. And I suppose that's just Sleeper Gaming really taking it to X-Avant. X-Avant probably expected a little bit more caution, given their experience and their time in the league, and especially in the scene as well. Sleeper Gaming just really decided to turn the tables, and you know, sometimes you just have to do that. A lot of people don't expect the rush to come through, especially through the garage or maybe even main stairs, because those are the really normally the pretty heavily surveyed sites, especially with the mirror coming sorry, not the mirror, I mean the Valkyrie. Especially with Valkyrie on the board, you'd expect them to actually be keeping an eye on that garage, but they took that a little bit for granted, and Sleeper Gaming really capitalized on it. So coming through, it does look like maybe Sleeper's going for the same thing, coming up with the Ash and the Finka. They are looking for a very aggressive push, especially now with the bullets as well. So they've got a little bit of utility with the Dokkaebi and the Thatcher, but it does look like that just might be to clear anything in their path while Blitz pushes through, and maybe while Dokkaebi rings up and calls their phones and makes sure that they're, you know, they've had their dinner and they've checked their T's and dotted their I's, making sure they've done everything, being the overly attached friend that she is. I mean, does look like they've gone for a similar setup on the same side. They're gonna just adjust a few things, making sure that no one pushes through too quick. With a very similar roster, it does look like maybe Luna will push into the garage and try to hold that a little bit more aggressively. All the way up to the garage door, in fact. Maybe putting a camera down, maybe hide behind one of the vans. So Official Guy as well will be trying to hold that a little bit more aggressively. And oh, he sees one already. 1-1 with a shotgun. 2 goes down. 1 has to get picked up, but it does look like 2 kills come out for both for Exavant, and Official Guy goes down for them. Arnie gets tagged quite a bit, but Twent's already on site, and he's pushing through like crazy. What is happening right now? The shotgun from Twent with this... Oh, I'm losing my words. This is absolutely crazy. How are they getting away with this? Vicious is left, but Exavant win this one out. They were a little bit more prepared, and they were a little bit more spread out. They reacted a little bit better. They didn't get away with it this time. So Sleeper Gaming might not be able to pull it out again. Maybe not be able to pull it out 3 times in a row, but hopefully we see something definitely change for Sleeper Gaming. I don't want to see that the 3rd time through, but man, what a meme. I wasn't ready for that. I apologize to everyone. That was horrible. That was horrible commentary from me. But I wasn't expecting something like that. But I mean, maybe they will be playing a little bit more methodically this time, moving over to CEO and Office. The Thatcher and the Thermite combo will be coming out. Glaz as well. I expect them holding a very long angle from the parking lot, pushing through some basic stuff. And Luna now on Echo is going to be interesting, because Echo didn't get banned. So he's on the board, and I expect Sleeper to be really capitalizing on that. He can be a pain in your backside if you don't really pay attention to him. But other than that, I'm surprised they haven't gone with the Caveira again, or the Vigil. But I suppose they're playing a little bit more conservative. They don't want to waste it too much. The camera, the yokai drone from Luna is actually pretty close to that wall. Maybe using, maybe actually opening that up and using that as a secondary long-range camera, looking over into the skylight could be pretty handy actually if you think about it. Official Guy will be rotating around, and it does look like Exavant are going for a pretty comprehensive defense this time around, and making sure that they are able to delay and slow Sleeper down, because they've taken a little bit too much morning coffee. Ooh, a little bit of a duel for Twent over by the parking lot, and man, these guys are chatty in the... Oh, what? How did he get Copper? Dude! Okay. That range, right? And they're not going to waste any more time. So Sleeper gets taken out. They have to push in. They're already losing their long-range control. He decided to contest that, and man, that was some money shots there. Molosco's going to try to pick up a kill and tries to hold his own flank while the rest of his team pushes up and tries to get that breach open. Does look like Present will be the one with the hard breach this time, and they are pushing through. Kaid with maybe the impact trick is hanging around. The Texan Dynamite goes out, so does the EMP. But will the Attila Electroclaw be able to deny it this time? Ooh, not this time around. The EMP denies anything that comes out. The free fire shots go out, and it looks like they are now taking control quite fairly over the skylight and stairwell area. The high angle from the actual skylight itself on the roof, it does look like Molosco will be able to cut out a rotation from the janitor's car, and Lyrics is trying to hold it out. Oh, picks up a nice shot kills for himself, and Josh picks up the 12th position. It does look like Sleeper are pushing in quite confidently right now, losing one more to their team. Another going down as well. Copper picking in a second kill for himself as well onto Lyrics. Diffuser gets picked up, and it does look like Sleeper have to think a little bit harder about how they're going to approach this. Their aggressive push has been successful so far, but it does look like Fisher Guy will be taken out by Malaska upstairs, and Sleeper are not to be played with. So, very strong start for Sleeper Gaming right now. It does look like everything is in order so far. Copper dodges a couple of bullets, enters the Matrix, leaves it, vaults through the window himself. He's trying to hold a longer rotation, trying to stay alive a little bit longer, waiting for maybe them to put the plant down before he actually tries to push them any harder. Yokai Drone is calling quite a few pings, and he has an idea of where they are. Actually, he knows exactly where they are. Look at those red pings coming out. He throws a couple of shots up for one, misses the kill this time around, has to rotate again. Not exactly sure where that drone is, but it looks like the plant is going down. Josh has that one. The breaches and the flooring downstairs is open. And they are open, you have that angle there, but it does look like he's decided to plant over on B. A lot of cover for him, and he decides to cancel the plant yet again. I'm not too sure exactly why, but now moving over to a bit of a safer area. Does look like they've delayed it long enough. 17-15 seconds left on the clock on Copper. Still has some fair options left to him. Malaska is down for the count, and it's just a 1v1. Oh, he picks one up, and there we go. Malaska gets taken out with 1 health left. Almost clutched it. Almost had that one with a double team, but it does look like Copper will be able to find that diffuser and counter diffuse. Waste a little bit more time with the syringe, and it does look like Exavant prove again that their methodology will prevail this time around. Sleeper Gaming with fantastic aggression, though. I'm quite liking it. It's along the lines of how we've seen Sleeper Gaming before, but coming into this matchup particularly, we are seeing that Sleeper not only are acting and playing hyper aggressive, but are also bringing in this new wave of these new angles, these new control points that we've never seen them use before. We've seen them on this map, but we haven't seen them play like this. So they've obviously done their homework, and now moving through does look like Avant's going for a little bit extra protection, bringing in the thick plates. So don't forget your free t-shirts, boys and girls. Fisher Guys got that fishing sale on, don't forget. Pulse being switched in is pretty interesting. Vicious. Could come for some vicious angles, and sacrificing the Attila Claw is an interesting choice, but I suppose in hindsight it's like, man, you know what? They're gonna get this breach one way or the other if we don't have a bandit, because Thatcher can only stop you so much, and he can only deny, and he can deny quite simply, but without more than one hard breach denier, it doesn't look like it's gonna be something you might want to invest in for too long. So considering that, switching over to the Pulse to deny entry or to deny plant or even the breach itself is a fantastic choice, a fantastic swap over. Playing over in the Archives and Tellers doesn't look like they've invested too much in the defense so far, except from the hallway over by the elevator. But they have invested almost everywhere else. The attacking team's already moving in, and that does look like Exavant are, I wouldn't say spread thin, but they've got a very wide control and pretty decent spread over exactly where they're going to put their defenses. So I'm not sure how this is going to play, but if they get caught out and they get picked apart one by one, it's going to fall, it's going to just crumble underneath them, because they won't be able to rotate back to side effectively. They're going to be in danger all the way through. Lyrics is pushing through the CO, and oh my gosh, Lyrics sees one, he misses a shot, throws a couple of sprays up, but Copper is the winner in that duel there. Was probably expecting that. I mean, that's exactly what Doc's for these days. Pre-fire holes there, some pre-made shots, they know exactly where they are. Without the buck, it doesn't look like they've got too much left to them other than the sledge for soft breach. Ooh, Malaska living out with 1 health. Josh picking up an extra kill on the Copper as well, and an Exavant losing 2 men, and Malaska back again down to that sliver of health. Don't know how he's surviving on that much health consistently and over again, if anything. Luna's over by the open area with her friend, and they are hanging around. They do see a couple of soft breaches and a couple spot. Vicious picks up a nice C4 kill. That pulse coming in handy, obviously. But it does look like Josh will be trying to hold and maybe hold some rotations, maybe clear out any utility. Malaska hasn't detected anything so far, but some members of Sleeper Gaming are playing very risky, pushing up 3-3 right now, and Malaska pretty much on 1 health. Such little health, you can't see it at all. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of risking it at this point. Oh no, Luna with the jump over on top. Very aggressive. Sees the diffuser, they know what to hold right now. But it does look like X-Avant are back in the advantage, not only in health, but also in numbers. So 50 seconds left. Sleeper can still spend another 30 seconds to really rethink what their plan of attack is. Hyper-aggression has not worked out for them so far. I feel like maybe they actually spent a little bit too much time on the outside. Josh will lose his life for that as well. Vicious taking him out, and it does look like a 1 health Malaska is not going to look very healthy for long. Defenders win round 4. X-Avant winning that out, and ooh, Sleeper Gaming almost had that one, really. I'm liking those punch hole whack-a-mole walls. I'm not sure what they're calling it these days, but I'm going to call it whack-a-mole wall because that's essentially what it looks like to me, folks. It provides the illusion that a player might be behind one hole and over the other. You might see the inconsistency with whether one hole is dark or if it's, you know, you can see the background in it or not. However, it does play a little bit of a, like a, how do I say this, like a Mavericks, like playing with Maverick, you know, like you want to make not just one kill hole in the breach, you want to make multiple so that the enemy sort of tries to pick which one to shoot, and then while he's shooting at the other one, you shoot them, and you sometimes have the advantage because a lot of players are hesitant to shoot through one punch hole over the other, just so they don't reveal their position and get caught out from that. But we are going back downstairs to lockers and CCTV. Luna over by the garage again does look like Copper's going for a Tachanka. I'm not too sure if he's quite comfortable right now with how his team's playing, but please hold open area like the king you are. I'm really hoping for it. In all reality, though, he's probably going downstairs, chilling out by Fisho's mirror window, or by the garage. Okay. Hoping to punish them for a very aggressive play. We'll see how that turns out. The shield is up. The Chanka is ready, and the Lord ready to deliver divine punishment. Twent will be pushing through the open area. It does look like Lyrics will be pushing into the servers downstairs as well. Does a little bit of droning himself, and Josh gives the okay and clear. Malaska will be over by the CCTV server stairs, and they are pushing through. The wall is soft, and they aren't exactly safe, but it does look like a fairly slower game coming out from Sleeper Gaming. I'm actually surprised they reinforced one over the other there. Just because normally if you want to leave one wall soft, you leave the plant wall soft because you shoot it open with the shotgun, make it a little hard to actually reach it open unless you had a Sophia or an Ash or anyone with a shotgun to actually clear it open before. Jacko could have done it. A lot of members are over by the server now. So flashbangs go out. Twent is still holding the flank over by that side, and President has pushed through, and he's gonna plant in the corner. I think he tried to plant on top of the desk. It doesn't look like it's gonna work out so far. The turret from Copper will pick up Malaska, and does look like a lot more members of Sleeper will be being taken out. President is in a particular position, and he's caught out. Unfortunately, decides to prone over by that corner there, but it looks like Sleeper dropping down to just 2 members. Looks like they're in a little bit of a bind right now, having to hold those angles. Lyrics is getting pinched and pushed out, and this looks like, oh my gosh, Josh turns the other way at the wrong time. Arnie gets him with the RNG 11, while Lyrics is trying to guard that plant all by himself. Tachanka, the Lord Deliver, picks up that last kill onto Lyrics, and it does look like the defuse will go down. X-Avant 4-1 now on round 5. Like I said before, X-Avant far more confident with their time in the league so far. Not surprised with this turn of events. However, I was surprised with how Sleeper Gaming went with the initial rush. X-Avant weren't really ready for that. But have the experience to know how to deal with it coming into future matches or future rounds. Now that they're a little bit more comfortable, Sleeper Gaming might be able to turn it around and actually bring back that rush. Unsure if that's what they want to do at this point in time. However, we are seeing Twent bringing that Monty, so hopefully he doesn't 6-pick that one out. But Molosca on Twitch is not too surprising. Oh, please don't switch it out, Twent. If he switches over to a Blitz, I wouldn't be surprised. But okay, I'm confused. Sure, it looks like they're going for a similar rushy tactic, maybe, but maybe they're just going for a little bit more hard reach. With 1 round left on the fence, Exavant are proving to be quite comfortable with where they are. They were caught off guard in the start, but they didn't let it go through the second round over. So now on round 6, back on CEO. Pretty happy with how this game's going so far. It has been a pretty interesting matchup. I wouldn't say it's the tightest so far, but Sleeper Gaming have proven that they can win a round if they catch them by surprise, but might need a little bit more innovation moving forward into the next few rounds, and maybe a little bit of creativity. And that's sometimes what separates some pro teams from some challenger teams and some more experience from those that aren't, is their ability to actually capitalize, adapt, and shift their strategy and their plan of attack or defense on the fly, on the go, mid-round. Interesting enough, President will be pushing over with, I think he's by himself. No, Molosca's with him. They are pushing upstairs by the parking, the alley access, while Josh is the one over by the car park, which is fairly peculiar. I know they need that long-range control, but I wouldn't think that Habana's assault rifle will be the one you would want to hold those angles. Crouch walking Ash is probably the dirtiest thing I've seen in this league so far. I am pretty pleased with how this is. Oh no! Twent's in there, he gets punished for it. Fisher guy reacts in time. He gets off his camera just at the right moment, and it does look like he will be punished for that. But they do lose their Kaid, so there's no more Kaid tricking. Another kill over by the kitchen does get picked up. Copper gets punished for that. He did do a very interesting rotate, quite fast in fact. But surely call-outs for that were given. No echo drones found just yet, but Fisher guy now being the one on the echo drones and Lunan back on the Valkyrie does seem to be an interesting decision. She's a fantastic Valkyrie main. We do see that President will be now breaching open the wall. Flashbangs go through. So does the Texan Dynamite, and it does look like Molosca's trying to hold angles. Sleeper Gaming still have 3, Exavant still have 3. Arnie's low, but it doesn't count them out just yet. They won't be able to get through the second half if they don't have a Thatcher with them anymore. And maybe, I don't think Molosca's gonna give up using the F2 just to remove, just to open up the extra wall. They might, and if they did, it would be pretty beneficial to them and their positioning right now. But it does look like President and the rest of them are waiting for the members of Avant to kind of make a mistake, push out, and so they can punish them. But considering their position, I don't think Exavant's gonna push out and actually risk anything just yet. They are in a strong position right now, and Sleeper Gaming really have to make their way into the site. President's gonna try to snake his way through, and Molosca with a couple of shots to try to distract might be able to get this going. Fisher guy sees one through the bomb, doesn't realize one snaked his way through. Arnie picks up one more, and it does bring it down to a 2-2 situation. So, not so precarious, but oh my gosh, President doesn't exactly get seen by Fisho, but Fisho does get punished from it. But Arnie knows exactly where he is, and it's a 1-2 situation. He needs to take out Molosca before he takes out President, but it does look like the plant is successful, and he's 1-2 now. Prone again yet on the diffuser. It seems like another habit of President's. I'm going to put that in my notes, but it does look like Molosca's going for a long rotation through. Couple of test shots go out, nothing successful, although he had the right idea. He needs to pick up one more kill onto Molosca, and it might be the one. No, President wins this one. And it does look like Sleeper Gaming is still in the game. Considering that Sleeper adapted, does show that they have what it takes. they changed it up a little bit, played a little bit sneakier, not as aggressive. So they've gone from hot to cold, and I like how they have done that. They played a little bit differently. The Ash coming through, crouch, walking over to the meeting room was very unexpected. We didn't expect to see that. We didn't expect to see the easy kill coming from that, or even President snaking his way through, prone into the site. They couldn't hear it, of course. A lot of shots were going out, and that masks the sound of the prone crawl, and that allowed him to plant. I would have planted it behind the desk, but I suppose he might have thought he'd be a little exposed, and he might not have the angles. Laska might not have the angles to defend that. So, as their first side, this is pretty default in actually defense most times that we see most teams actually come down to CCTV and lockers, server and lockers. I would have hoped for a little bit of a change up for the first site to pick, but not too upset. I'm interested to see if anyone's actually going to try and hold the teller's room upstairs. Lyrics will be trying to, not trying to, but we'll be getting that hatch over by the teller's room. But looking at Sleeper's setup right now, it does look like they're going for long angle holds, and they're also going for a lot of entry denial. A lot of time wasting. Josh on Legion. Man, my brain is not working. Josh on the Legion, and it does look like Molosca is on that smoke. They will be trying to delay as much time as possible because delaying time is the name of the game. Arnie will be trying to push through upstairs and control that skylight area. It does look like the skylight stairwell is clear. Official guy getting the call out there, and it does look like AV are going to be able to push in quite confidently all the way through the open area. And Josh already picked up a nice kill onto Copper. So one of the top fraggers has already been taken off the board. It does look like Vicious, who by the way is one of their top fraggers, coming out with most of the kills for Ecobot. Actually plays support, so maybe it's just him picking up the kills as the games have gone by, or maybe he just really does well, so they can put him on a more supportive role and he can still win. A soft breach over by the server room, and the new changes to the breaching charges will not damage him at all. Does look like they've got all the good hatches open. And with an interesting breach over by the server room, if they take control of that area, they will be able to control the plant and the counter defuse almost uncontested. It will be extremely hard for Sleeper to take that back if they get that going. Josh gets a little bit of a heal, and it does look like Sleeper is ready to go and try to fight yet another day. Copper being taken off the board, no good. Jackal being removed so early means that they don't get a lot of entry. Close one. But it does mean that they don't get a lot of information provided to them. Shotgun being used to create a vaultable breach. Vicious trying to play it safe as possible right now. Unfortunately, the Habana X Kairos charges were asymmetric. Unfortunately, unable to get that plant going. It does look like Fisher will be planting directly in front of the mirror. Luna's trying to hold that, picks up the kill onto Mlaska. Yokai drone denies the plant. President picks up Fisher guy. Arnie gets Josh, and it does look like it's now down to a 3-1 situation. A couple of members down. Arnie's all by himself. He's got to push through that service stairs, and maybe he might be able to get Vicious, but it does look like Luna is trying to crawl back to health and safety as well. Not exactly in the most safest of places. It does look like the Echo Drone will be able to pinch them out just now, and maybe President might be able to get this kill, but it looks like at least one pickup will be possible. The Echo Drone is denying a lot of that pickup, though. Doesn't look so good for them so far. 10 seconds left on the clock, and it does look like, Arnie gets taken out. Luna gets taken out. It does look like Sleeper Gaming win round 7. Another turn of events. Exabat looks so confident, bringing out the Tachanka, playing a very casual, lax game. But now that Sleeper's on defense, it does look like they know exactly what they're doing. 3-4 now. The scoreline's looking a little bit more even, a little bit more close. It does look like I said before, Sleeper Gaming do exactly have what it takes to take out a Pro League team like Exavant, who are going, by the way, to both these teams will be going to are qualifying for the Rainbow Six Masters, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, but I do know Sleeper are going to qualify for the Rainbow Six Masters over in Melbourne in August 31st and 1st of September at the Melbourne Esports Open. Will they get to the main stage or not? We'll have to see, but we are looking at a younger learning Sleeper Gaming, and as Exavant come through, surely they will still learn. All dogs can learn new tricks, but they are not to be counted out just yet. They are still in the lead with a very impressive scoreboard so far. Copper on 8 kills, so like I said again, Copper being taken out on Avant early like that, denying not only the intel but also the possibility for more frags, did not end up so well for them. Unfortunately, it does look like maybe their plans relied quite a bit on Copper, clearing out some of the roamers and dwindling Sleeper's numbers coming into the match and going towards the plant, and maybe they had to adapt and just go for the plant. Didn't work out for them this time. Hopefully it will this time. Now we are on the
Cam in position.
Now that we are on the CEO's side upstairs, a cheeky little spawn peek from Josh will not pay dividends just yet, but the castle being picked for CEO is something that I like to see. Makes castle mains like myself quite happy, and does look like Luna will be the one push up over by the front of the plaza, by the jewelry store. Interesting choice to actually breach that far, but okay. She's not wrong in doing that. Does look like Arnie with the reflex sight will be trying to get a long-range breach strike over by the car park side, and it does look like Luna will be trying to put a lot of, actually the entire team for Avant are putting that long-range pressure over from the external side of the building. They are playing that spawn peek game. They do have the advantage with more ACOGs on their side. They were trying to get those one-tap kills, and it does look like maybe they might be able to profit from this. Arnie is tagged a little bit heavier than anyone on Sleeper, but it does look like they get a couple of shots into President and Twent. More crouch walking. Much more crouch walking act. Interesting choice. One over by the elevators picks up a kill onto Luna. She goes down. Twent with the castle will pick that one up for himself. And Vicious, the hard breacher, is playing a dangerous game. If he gets taken out here, that's their hard breach gone. I'm not sure if that's exactly who you want to be doing that particular job. I'd imagine maybe an Ash with a G36 and an ACOG actually picking that one up. He doesn't pick up the kill President onto Fisho Guy, but Fisho Guy got refragged for Lyrics. So it does look like more members of Avant are going down, and Sleeper are still in the lead. Might be able to draw this one out, in fact. And oh my gosh, a prone Josh picks up Copper. Bet he didn't see that one coming, unfortunately. Does look like Vicious will be able to push through, and it does look like their plan is falling apart. Trying to take them out that far out might not have been the play. Definitely wasn't the play. But unfortunately, it does not pay dividends. I'm saying this because we're on a map like Bank, so I'm talking about profits here. The lone Texan will be pushing through the president's office and the reception, and he will be trying to get into the site, the front desk, and oh, picks up one kill from some. Would he be able to survive any much longer? But no. The shotgun DML hybrid by from Josh on the Kaid. Picks up a very nice kill and a very beautiful one tap. So Sleeper Gaming tied that one out. So round 9 now. We're just looking at a 4-4 scoreboard. This is a tighter game than I thought it'd be. I thought that Exavant would probably win this, but Sleeper could definitely turn around. So I wasn't wrong thinking that Sleeper could turn this around, because they definitely are. But I didn't think it would turn out the way this is going. So a lot of it, you could say, might be down to the bans. We do see that the Blackbeard and the Jaeger bans have been taken out here. Glaz not being banned hasn't been so detrimental so far. He hasn't had much success with Glaz, and they just stopped using him. Not sure if Exavant are going to pick up Glaz themselves on that attack, but without the ADS from Jaeger, it does look like they are worrying about a lot of flashbangs, a lot of the grenades coming through. Not there are a lot of grenades, there's a lot of flashbangs, and they have one less reliable 3 speed to do their roaming for them. Lyrics now back on, not back on, but he's on the Vigil for the first time. He is coming through, and we are seeing a player come back on Vigil. Sorry, my brain's not working. I probably need more coffee in me. But So far, it's a pretty spicy matchup for today at the Let's Play Live studio, and it does look like a 4-4 lineup in an unexpected turn of events. It's going to be the flavor of the day. Alaska going to be putting down those cameras over between the rooms. Quite beneficial in most cases. It does look like Luna herself will be doing the little bit of droning for Arnie, as Arnie and Co. Fisho try to get those cameras and try to push up, making sure that they don't waste too much. Now realizing the game is closer than they thought it would be, having to play a little bit safer. So with the new update coming through for Operation Phantom Sight, we won't be seeing the new operators come through, but what we will be seeing is the new mechanics come through. Debris has been changed, and destroying barricades or windows and doors interacts differently. The debris now flies much further away from the actual door, and I think that's kind of a staple mechanic now. The sprinklers downstairs and bank will be gone, so we won't be seeing any of this. And they will be able to have a little bit more sound clarity, and the ambient noise has been cut down a little bit. Oh my gosh, President misses the opportunity to get a very nice shotgun kill. Does look like Arnie picks up a nice kill onto his teammate. Copper goes down. It does look like removing his own top fragger has not been the best for them. So Arnie will be pushing through as well. It does look like he's going to have to try to make up for a couple of his mistakes. Taking control upstairs first is very paramount in order to take secure control over Archives and Tellers. Luna, oh my gosh, she just doesn't see him. One will be pushing up over by the staircase, and does look like... Oh my god, look! That's so mean! Oh no. It looks like President will be trying to go for it, but Fisher Guy punishes him for that aggression, and Fisher Guy will be getting those breaching charges over by the walls, over by the floors. If no one clipped that, I will later definitely in my book. It does look like Fisher Guy on... Guy on the IQ will be pushing up through, trying to get that angle. Twent now having to return back to site and try to pick up his teammate before it's a bit too late, making it to a 1-2 situation. Does look like he will pick him up, and it brings the scoreline about even. And oh no, Sleeper caught sleeping in positions they didn't expect to be caught. Literally prone on the floor. So Twent is the one to fight the two last members of Exavant, and they are pushing through Tellers, and it does look like Exavant do pick up that kill. Round 9 going to Exavant, and it does look like they have one more point towards a possible overtime. I myself am hoping for overtime. I mean, I like a very fair and even matchup. Also, considering that we are only broadcasting one matchup today, it would be nice to see a little bit of a longer match, and I'm very interested, and if anything, quite curious to see how Sleeper GG actually pan out and play with Exavant, just because of how Sleeper GG as an organization and as a Rainbow Six team have come out of their shell and, how do I say this, made a very lasting impression, not only for me but also for us at LPL and the Let's Play Live Challenge League here for Rainbow Six. So we're definitely going to be seeing this moving through, and they're definitely getting a clip being highlighted for the sneaky vigil play coming from Lyrics. He's going to do that again. They're going to be downstairs again by the vault and the archives and CCTV. How will they play against this? So they had all the things checked off, and they did all the things right last round. They just lost a couple of unfortunate team fights, and maybe the timing was wrong, maybe they pushed at the wrong time, but it does look like Molosca now on the pulse will be able to bring in something a little bit more aggressive. President tried to get aggressive by vaulting through the door, but that was a little bit too much of a sound cue, gave him away too easily. It does look like Josh might be trying to give himself away, maybe. Catch someone? No. A little bit of a run out, and unfortunately unsuccessful. One will be pushing through up in the electrical room. Luna and Vicious over by parking access, and Arnie over by the skylight now. So it does look like while both teams are still setting up for their attack, it does look like Sleeper have taken extra precautions. Twent back on that Echo just for a little bit more safety on that defense. Doesn't look like it's gonna phase Exavant too much. Not too sure if they actually saw him, but surely Copper will be able to deny it, and Fisho as well. Hopefully we don't hopefully they do make sure they check and they deny Echo the possibility of actually getting the Sonic Burst out. It does look like they're actually going for a very topside heavy attack first, clearing out the roamer upstairs in the CEO's office, but he rotates over to the lobby. While Arnie is pushing through, he does hear the rotation, and Vicious does catch him out. He's over by the small loans room now, and Copper picks up a nice kill onto Lyrics on the other side of the map, but it does look like Copper might pick up the second one here, but they rotate downstairs. Josh is quite injured. Not too sure if that was the one downstairs. But now that they're opening up open office, it does look like Exavant are setting up for a pretty convincing take over by the CCTV.
Eyes on hostiles. Basement.
This is an interesting use of the mirror window. Normally what we do see is that the mirror window
Tango's in sight.
is kind of like, it's normally just placed over by the garage or the wall adjacent to the default mirror window. However, using the mirror window open to create a kill hole is very creative, and I'm very impressed if anything. So that allows them to actually deny the hard breach fairly easily. They could have done that if they actually held garage and they used the kill hole all the way through with an ACOG. However, without that this time around, it does look like they will be able to. Oh no, a mistime from Fisho lands a quick kill onto him before flank gets denied. They are pushing through that garage and the main stairwell quite fast. Does look like Arnie is a little exposed, but he has to pull out that Legion Gumine. He does lose that duel. He won't be able to withstand this time. The knife from Arnie now comes around and he clears that one up. Vicious tries to vault through, but no, sorry. Malaska tries to vault through, but Vicious picks up that kill for himself, and President is crawling his way through. What is up with Sleeper and crawling? Do they like... Maybe they just like going to bed. They're like being prone. Reminds them of home. Maybe. Josh and Co are still hanging around. They are all very low. Twent is going to get hurt, and they will find him. He will get punished by his SAT compadre. Does look like Exavant win round 10. So now 2 rounds ahead of Sleeper Gaming. Sleeper almost had that one, but unfortunately didn't exactly pick that one up due to a bit of a misplay and mistime. They weren't really... I mean, they invested in that kill hole with the mirror window, and that was a fantastic use of the mirror window. I was very surprised. I'm very impressed. But not really watching it and banking in on your investments really ended up with them kind of failing there. If they actually denied that, would have been fantastic. But Exavant were fast. They actually got in and they actually cleared it out quite well. Knew that they had a space and time where they actually could get that breach open, and it does look like Fisher Guy will be swapping onto Capital. The first time we're seeing Capital on the map here. The first time we're seeing any player actually pick him up. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Curious to see how this turns out as President still plays that mirror. Will he still invest in that mirror window kill hole? I hope so. I'd love to see it again. But it looks like Copper still on the top of the leaderboard for his team in terms of kill. Quickly followed by Vicious and Arnie. President is hanging up the backside. It does look like they are... Looks like he is going to be investing in that mirror window yet again. Probably opening that up quite soon, but like I said before, I hope they actually invest in actually using the garage and trying to use a more aggressive hold. If Exavant actually push through garage, and I mean they are opening it up, but will they actually bank in on that? There's the only ACOG on that team is Twent, and he's kind of just hanging out the backside there over by the garage, putting up some barbed wire. Maybe he will be. We're not sure where he's gonna sit though. With a swift push through the lobby, Luna will be pushing up and clearing up those hatches. Does look like she might be getting those elevator hatches. Don't know if she's going for a rush or not. Doesn't seem to be X-Avant style at all. Yeah, pushing through the service stairs, and Pulse will detect them. Molosca will be able to feed a little bit more information to their team. So that means they have 2 C4s ready to deny, if anything. And Vicious and in a very nice spot just now. Luna will be opening up that hatch, and it does look like they are going to be trying to get this mirror window open. And wow, okay. President with a bit of a mistime, and Copper actually exposing himself quite a lot. Overconfidently. Maybe even making a mistake. Potato maybe a little bit with the WASD, but it does look like a little bit of a kill hole will allow them to play it a little bit safer. Arnie now upstairs trying to hold the main stairwell as they push through. President, we trying to hold that room all by himself. Not much other information coming through, but yes, Twent will be using that ACOG over by the garage to deny any plant coming through. The breach is successful. It does look like the Capital and the Zofia are upstairs in prime position to deny any interference. Probably not a C4, but they probably won't be able to get something going. The mirror window is taken down. It does look like they have to fight a low to top angle. Arnie is pushing down the main stairwell, pulls back just a little bit while one vaults over to try to counter that. Copper picks up that from Josh. It does look like Avant's push so far is going well but slow. 40 seconds left. They still have a lot of time. Wow, Copper with a very aggressive push, dropping downstairs already. He's blinded. He's rolling through, and it looks like the plant is going down. Copper kills Fisho Guy in the madness and confusion, but Molosca picks up a fantastic double over onto Luna and Copper, and it looks like a 3-2 situation. Avant are in the deficit, and Sleeper yet again in the advantage on defense. Avant might actually just go for a very risky drop plant right at this point, but it does look like Vicious has to rotate all the way through. Picks up a nice kill, might be able to pick up the second one or the third, but no, Sleeper Gaming win round 11 and aren't letting X-Avant get too far ahead in this tight matchup that we've got tonight here. Boys and girls, what did we just see? I'll tell you what. X-Avant were going well, but I think they got a little bit hasty. They got one kill. They probably needed a little bit more investment pushing up from the garage in that situation. If Arnie had a little bit more backup and they were able to push through and clear out the vault side of the site, clear out the defenses there and apply rear side pressure, X-Avant would have had a easier plant. And if not the plant, they would have been able to get the kills because they were distracted with the plant. However, Sleeper held that site down to a T. X-Avant got a little hasty there, dropping the hatch, and not too sure how the team kill came out, but the double kill, the beautiful double kill C4 coming out was exactly what they needed to deny that entire site to X-Avant. The diffuser was in the wrong position. They weren't able to get that countdown going. The pressure was relieved, and X-Avant really crumbled under that push. However, they're still in the game. So, if Sleeper Gaming pull up one more round here, bring it into crunch time, because it is crunch time, they will be able to get an overtime here at Let's Play Live's Challenger League Series. So, if they do, what that means for us is that we'll be going to another overtime where we need to see another team pull out another 2 rounds to win. However, it doesn't seem quite likely just so far. Arnie does get that breach open. The castle barricade gets taken down with the impact from the lifeline. A fantastic utility, providing a lot of long-range destruction, long-range crowd control with the concussion grenades as well. Copper will be over by the garage with the PDW. And just a fun fact, the PDW is actually the strongest gun long range in the entire game. So long range, it has the lowest drop-off damage. You'd think it would be glass, but no, it's not. It's the PDW. It's really strange. I'm not sure if they've patched it since I last checked that, but it is a fantastic gun. It's got great recoil control. It's got fantastic mag. It's got a big mag well. It's got a big mag well, and it's got good damage. However, the C7E is still probably the most effective gun close range. For Jackal, at least. Copper will be putting out a lot of shots there, as we can see. Switches to the shotgun. Not too sure if that's ideal or not. We might see a run out here. A couple of sprays go down. He knows exactly that. Oh my gosh, the hip fire does pick up Josh through the wall. He knew exactly where he was. He downed him. He saw the animation. And he's trying to pick up a second one here. But that's exactly what you got to do with the PDW-9. Use the mag size to your advantage. Moloska picks up a kill onto Fisho. Does look like Sleeper are still quite strong. Down one member in comparison. It does look like they're now down to 3 members on their team. Moloska and President should be able to clutch this, but Exavant are in the dominant situation and in the prime position to get this plant down. They need to get the breach open. It does look like they are trying to just catch anyone on rotations, but the barricades are sealing them in. So that without an opportunity to get the flank going, they're going to have to win their gunfights. The smoke goes out, but Exavant aren't using that smoke to plant just yet. Copper is pretty exposed right now, and so is Arnie. As they push up through and try to gain more control over the president's, the CEO's nest. 2 flash grenades, 3 flash grenades go through. President finally gets flashed, and he's not in exactly the best place to be sitting in. Couple of pings go out. He doesn't get anything so far. The C4 gets thrown out, and yes, he will pick up the kill on the Copper. The Jackal goes down, but Exavant win round 12 and win this matchup. Sleeper Gaming coming so close to an overtime, but unfortunately Exavant with the prime positioning and a little bit more experience do win this one. A very close matchup. Sleeper Gaming did definitely surprise me, but unfortunately we do see Exavant take over. And fantastic, and congratulations to Exavant. That camouflage is burning my retinas. My gosh. Copper leaving up to 13 kills and President with 12. Not something you see every day. So definitely Sleeper Gaming are a team to be keeping an eye out for. They were so close to bringing that in. 7-5 is definitely a matchup that we do see quite once in a while here in the Challenger League, but it's been a fantastic night so far. So, looking at the matchup so far tonight, Sleeper Gaming came in with a very hyper-aggressive play. So they came in very hyper-aggressive. They came in and Exavant didn't expect it. They did it 2-3 rounds in a row. Didn't really work out. They changed their pace up, and I honestly didn't think they'd be able to go from hot to cold and really change their tempo drastically the way they did. But they surprised me. I'm sure they surprised a lot of you. Some of their strategies were a little unorthodox, but definitely were worth maybe expanding on, actually further capitalizing on. However, now that we do see how Sleeper Gaming play, and now that Exavant have won this matchup, congratulations to Exavant. Looking forward to next week. Don't forget, next week we will be seeing the rescheduled match between Fury and Extricity. So that's going to be a great match. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see it live on stream because we do have a lot of matches next week. Congratulations to Justice and Voltic for getting the default wins. So, thank you everybody for joining us yet again for another week. I'm sorry for the hiccups in the start of the stream, but we got through it. We had a fantastic game. My name is Lan. Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be seeing you next week again for week 6, and we are drawing close to our semifinals. But if you look so far, we only have 4 teams left, so that means that we are technically in our quarterfinals now by default. So it's going to be spicy. These teams are going to have to bring in crunch time. It's not over for a lot of them, and will Extricity be able to remain in that top seed moving forward into our semifinals? So we'll see you guys next week. My name's Lan. We'll be observed by Joseph Blazestrike Cooper, and also admin by Rookie and Bloodhound. So thank you everybody for joining us today. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers. Have a nice night.